I think you should be able to play the ball that you play. His way of describing it is it's kind of like a college kid using an aluminum bat and then a Major League Baseball player using a wooden bat. Is that where we're pretty steadfast on the fact that he thinks that those who do not play well should not be rewarded. And also that you got to play 72 holes in order to, really factor into anything in golf, including the world golf ranking. So overall, good day, I thought, for M. All right, I hate to do it, man. It happened again. We keep losing great people. Gosh, man, it feels like every week. Dave Van Hallinger passed yesterday, 69 years of age. I first met Dave Van Hallinger in probably 1992 in Tallahassee. He was the strength and conditioning coordinator at Florida State under Bobby Bowden from West Virginia, played for Bobby Bowden at West Virginia. Okay, Bowden brought him on, and he stayed in Tallahassee until Mark Richt took the job at Georgia in 2000, and Van Hallinger left then. And when he went to Georgia, I went to Chicago, so I just totally lost touch with Dave Van Hallinger. But let me tell you something, and there are thousands of football players, both at Georgia and Florida State, who probably have phenomenal stories. Let me tell you the type of guy Dave Van Hallinger was, okay? First of all, I've said it many times, so Bowden gave me, he gave me a set of keys to the program. There's no other way to say it. Every coach, every player, you name it, they were on my show, and they would come sit in the radio studio with me during my show. Dave Van Hallinger used to allow me to go to the Florida State weight room to work out. Think about that for a moment. Think about a member of the media today being allowed in a college weight room. And I remember I would be in there and I'd bump into Corey Fuller or Corey Sawyer or, players like that. I wasn't that old then. I was 25. I was just a few years older than they were. And he gave me complete, total access. I would, be able to form more of a relationship with those guys, and I would have them on the program. But Dave was one of those who, he had a lot of Gus Bradley in him. That's probably a pretty good way to describe him if you never met him. He was so caring about others. And I'm like, I'm a little hack here, just getting started in radio, just totally wet behind the ears. But he listened every day when he would drive home, and he would always comment to me. And, I'm not afraid to admit this because it was so long ago, but during those days, I was a little bit off. I was a little bit crazy. When I got here and I was on the ball, it was the same situation. Probably more of a smart ass than I would like to admit. But I was in between relationships with a girl that would end up becoming my wife, now my ex-wife, and drinking a lot of beer and just doing a lot of really stupid things. Stupid things that kids do, that young men do. And Tallahassee's a small town. Dave Van Hallinger knew about it. He knew about it all. And I remember when I left, he called me and he handed me a book, and it was called Becoming the Man That You Want to Be. And I remember grabbing the book, and, it's kind of like, I'm invincible, I'm untouchable. And I don't think I read the book until probably 2 or 3 years later. But I didn't even realize that inside the cover that he had written some really kind words. And I was going to bring it and read it tonight, but it really is. It's personable. But it's just an amazing man who felt that way about a member of the media in Jacksonville, in Tallahassee. Imagine how Dave Van Hallinger must have been to his players. So I've read a lot on him in the last 24 hours. All the ex-players are obviously offering up his condolences. I'm really disappointed by this. 69 years of age. Dave Van Hallinger. What an outstanding man. and you'll join many others who are up there waiting for you in heaven.
Taking calls and taking names.
I want to know who I'm talking to.
Just don't call him names.
That's enough! Why do you guys keep doing that?
Mike Dempsey.
Buenos tardes!
10 to noon weekdays.
Great glorious day!
On 1010XL.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, trunk lids, license plate holders, and headlights. They've got lots of headlights. When you need parts, get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's gonna fit. eBay Motors. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
So I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $30,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $80,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition and no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted into the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees, around $700 a year.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org.
Apply by May 18th.
Round up your friends and coworkers for the start of the Topgolf Spring Leagues. Each Monday from 6 to 9 p.m. for 8 weeks, you and your crew can compete for prizes and fun at Topgolf Jacksonville. Go to topgolf.com/leagues to sign up.
Your joints are talking to you, right? They're saying, hey, something's not right. You didn't listen because you thought the pain would go away in a week or two, but it's not going away.
Football legend Emmitt Smith knows you've got to listen to your body. Never ignore what it's telling you. And when it sends pain signals, don't wait. Get ahead. Stop it in its tracks with a visit to the nation's leader in joint pain relief.
That's QC Kinetics. Yeah, they are way ahead of the curve in this pain treatment business.
QC Kinetics says no to invasive surgeries and harsh drugs. They've found a better, natural way to relief, using your body's own healing properties that you were born with. And it takes place same day, right in the office during your appointment. No surgeries and no downtime.
Before that pain goes next level, get ahead of it. Go see QC Kinetics. Stop it in its tracks.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
The Masters. You can almost smell the azaleas and magnolias.
Smells super.
Catch Masters updates on 1010XL.
That bogey drops him out of the lead.
Brought to you by MyBookie
Putting for the win.
and Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
You will love your new windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson. And for a limited time, buy 2 windows or patio doors and get the third at 60% off. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. You'll enjoy the beauty and quality that only Renewal by Anderson offers. This offer expires April 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
It's the Guggen Open.
What's going to happen?
Listen to the drill with Jeff and Dan for a chance for you and a partner to play in this year's Coastal Equipment Guggen Golf Open, April 17th at Hidden Hills Golf Club. Score a hole-in-one, and you could win an all-new redesigned 2023 Honda Pilot from Lucas Honda.
Did you see that?
Yes, nice shot.
Sample meats from Southern Steer Butchers.
That smells good. What is that?
Thanks to our sponsors, Taco Lou, the Borland Groover Foundation, Instant Keys, and Southern Oak Insurance.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, apparently while I was back in Boston, I read about another sting on Phillips. You Johns, why aren't you listening to the truth teller? And JJ, we forewarn you all the time. If it looks too good, it must be too good. Just keep on passing by. Give him the wave. Give him the John Cena. I can't see ya. Give him the Cena.
I wonder if it's true that if you ask, "Are you a cop?" and they have to say yes. That can't possibly be true, but I wonder where that started and why it's in every movie and TV show.
Right, they say, well, you a cop? If not, it's entrapment.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
good luck with that, bro.
Here's what I got for you. Who's the judge going to believe, a cop or a John?
Yeah, and that's just not a law. Do you think that a guy who's been working undercover for 4 years with this, criminal gang, all of a sudden one day they turn to him and they're like, "Jeff, are you a cop?" And he's like, "Oh, you got me. I legally have to tell you yes. Damn it."
Yep. Hey, guys, this thing is, let's call it off. You see 20 guys break away. You got guys on, telephone lines. You got a plumber who comes out of a building. You've got all these guys undercover.
The lady working behind the counter. It's all right.
Because that's the most important thing right now, as we know, is to get those Johns on Phillips. But here's a way around it. How about not ask? How about saying I'm uninterested? No, thank you.
Get a girlfriend.
That's probably the best way to go about. Hey, this whole and I'm going to get to the Patriot Roofing, our draft update here in just a couple of minutes. My goodness, man! Last 2 days of, Twitter. Right now, the streets of Twitter are like my high school bathroom wall, okay? There is so much venom and so much anger based on the whole John Cena situation. Angel Reese, what she did with LSU, going back to Caitlin Clark, and what she did with Iowa. And, it seems like everyone has an opinion. And, again, it's one of those opinions where my opinion is right. If you disagree with me, you're a racist. You've got massive members.
Bless Twitter.
All right, massive members of the media writing columns on this, and guys, doing their 2, 3, 4 minute, takes or whatever it is on television. I'm not gonna dive into it as far as how I feel and how I don't feel, but I will say this: did you see that 9.9 million people watched that game?
That's what happens. You put it on ABC.
More than the Orange Bowl, more than the Sugar Bowl.
See, when I saw that, a lot of people, ESPN want to champion women's athletics and stuff, which, yeah, that's great that they have that number. But to me, I was like, yeah, isn't that damning for bowl games? They are so dead. Someone like me who loves college football, I probably could count on one hand the amount of bowl games outside of the playoffs that I watched this year. And I'm the target audience.
So this Caitlin Clark is apparently, and I'm not going to lie to you, I just didn't watch, okay? I was in Boston coming back from my mom's funeral. I did not take part of any of this. But apparently in the Elite Eight matchup, she did the whole John Cena thing to, I think it was someone at maybe Louisville, and then Angel Reese, who's MVP. She's missed double-double.
They're actually claiming that, and like you, I didn't watch any of this, but that apparently she in the Elite Eight did the celebration to her own teammates. And that's where the discrepancy comes in.
Yeah. Well, what's disappointing about this is the two stories that have come out is winning with class, or in this case, not winning with class, or why can one girl do it, get away with it, another girl does it, and, it's a totally different feeling by those who comment, and Jill Biden coming out and saying, let's bring in Iowa as well.
Love that.
The first lady. Here we are during the ultimate, everyone wins. Let's get a trophy for LSU beats them by double digits, and let's bring in the losing team as well?
All the ladies deserve
From
to come.
Iowa? Oh, that's haunting. I have much more of an opinion on that than I do about what has really taken college basketball by storm. You know, different rules for different players, and it's unfortunately really become once again, a major race issue, which I don't care to get into tonight because I didn't even watch it, all right? But it's just a shame that it's taken away from what LSU did. LSU won a national title, and I've heard some people say that this is the Jay Mariotti, who I know a lot of people don't like. I do, and I've known Jay forever, and I have him on every once in a while. I was thinking about bringing him on for this, but then I was like, you know what? Let's kind of let this thing die. He called it the worst sportsmanship of any major championship in the history of athletics.
I love that.
So it got me thinking. I was like, what is the worst example? Because, I've always made this comment, JJ, and you know it, that 99.9% of fights in sporting events come from victorious fans who get in the loser's fans' face and they say, you suck.
Yes.
And that's where most fight, for some reason, as fans, and I think fans are talented enough that they can get off the you suck and make you feel bad if you're a loser and still find a way to drink their beer and celebrate with their friends. They're talented enough to do to do all of that. But what is the worst example that you can think of a individual award, a championship award? I mean, even a sport like boxing.
I was about to say that. I would take that completely out of the rest of them because you see so many brawls between cornermen. I'm thinking of a fighter right now. His name is Uzgatagi. He's a South American guy. He beat a guy, Andre Durrell, a couple years ago. And then, after you fight a guy, it's usually hugs. And, no matter what was said before the fight, we kind of, hey, that was just before the fight. Now we fought it out. We're men. We're friends. And usually the cornermen do the same thing. Not this time. This guy, Durrell's uncle, came right up to Uzgatagi and punched him with a two-piece. Like, boom, boom.
Okay.
Immediately. So, that sport is so Wild West, and so is UFC, that I wouldn't even count that. But in, the major sports, you see it a lot in, regular season games or something. But in a championship, I don't know. I mean, we had the Astros cheating in the World Series.
Right? But I'm thinking of a moment that ended it. I mean, Joe Carter could have done it when he had a game-winning homer.
That would have been hilarious
off
if you just
of Mitch
looked at
Williams.
the pitcher and
Carlton Fisk when he hit it in 75 in Game 6. I can't think of one. Maybe you can. But I do have this. Because, we're in a time now where you're always trying to upstage the other. So let me set the scene for you. Coming down 18, got about 125 yards away. Looks like it's a pitching wedge for Brooks Koepka. And he holes out on 18 to birdie to win by a stroke. Next to him is Rory McIlroy trying to complete his Grand Slam. We all remember a year ago Sunday, Rory had a 64 on that Sunday, including from a bunker on 18. Remember, he holed out for a birdie, and he's trying to complete his Grand Slam. What if Brooks Koepka holed in, walked up to the green, gave Rory the facial, can you see me, and started hooping and hollering with the fans at Augusta a week after it happened here with Angel Reese?
give him the L for live. Oh, my God. But did you hear, well, I guess you did. Greg Norman said they were all going to storm 18.
Oh, yeah.
I would love that. I think it would be the best thing to ever happen to golf. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. But that would never happen.
Give me your example of that out there. If you can think of one that we're missing. 641-1010 on our text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, whether it's college hoops, college football, anything in the NFL.
How about
NHL?
Was it in the title game when the Buccaneers player gave the peace sign to? Yeah, it was in the Super Bowl to Tyreek after. I guess Tyreek had done it earlier in the game on his way to the end zone.
Who took off his helmet and then they missed the PAT? Well, that was just a failure. That wasn't. That was an awful. Again, we're trying to accommodate Jay Mariotti here, who called it the worst sportsmanship during a team championship. The moment you won it. I can't even think of anything that comes close. All right, Patriot Roofing, their draft update. Let's give you this. First off, Anthony Richardson, quarterback at Florida, going to take 6 visits. All right, Baltimore, a couple within the division, Tennessee and Indianapolis. Also going to visit Atlanta, Carolina, and Las Vegas. I'm sure it was reported here on Friday, but if you did not hear, Quentin Johnston is going to make a visit here if he hasn't already. I love this young man. Okay, even though TCU got blown out during the national championship game, I absolutely think that he may be the best wide receiver in the draft. It's 6'3", 208 pounds. He's got a vertical of more than 40 inches. If they went that way, I'd be okay with it because, again, I want all offense here. Certainly I want the offensive line, but that would be okay if they, were expected to go in that position, which, again, would surprise me a little bit. Tomorrow's a big day for Will Levis. The Colts are going to go ahead and visit him in Lexington, and, they've already visited this week with Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. Stroud, by the way, is also going to be in Houston tomorrow. So, within the division, this thing is wide open. When you look at Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill's got a cap hit of $36.6 million. What are the Colts going to do? What are the Houston Texans going to do? There was actually, another report today when it came out with Lamar Jackson that, you look at the odds, and it's Colts number 1, it's Falcons number 2. So is that going to happen? We'll have to see. Also talked today about maybe Kirk Cousins getting moved. You heard all about the Mac Jones stuff. Belichick and Mac Jones. Of course, Mac played right here at the Bowl School in Jacksonville. Apparently, Belichick not thrilled with the way that Mac Jones handled things in his second year. And, listen, Mac Jones had a defensive guy as his offensive coordinator, and he had a special teams guy as well, highly involved with their offense. If you look at 2 former head coaches, in Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, it just ended up really being a mess. I don't know who to side with there. And, I just got back from Boston where, again, you talk about a tough fan base. Bill Belichick won 6 Super Bowls. You know what they're saying in Boston right now? Many. Time is up. Okay? What is Bill Belichick without Tom Brady? In Cleveland and in New England, he is basically a 500 coach without Brady. Whether you believe that or you do not believe that, that is what is being tossed around. Kirk Cousins to San Francisco is something as well that could actually happen in and around draft day. So, you could have Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, and Lamar Jackson all traded in the next 23 days and or during the first round of the National Football League draft. It's brought to you by Patriot Roofing Services, specializing in all types of commercial and residential roofing and repairs, gutters, sun tubes, skylights. All right, 10-year workmanship warranty. Financing is available. Discounts for military and senior citizens. No subcontractors. Give Mark a call. He's a buddy of mine. 982-4052, and it's an outstanding company, licensed and insured. And how about this? You bring him in for an estimate. If you're happy with the estimate and you need your roof done, he's going to knock off $500 on a new re-roof if you mention the ad. It's as simple as that. Okay? Repairs, a new re-roof, if it's what your home needs. Give Mark a call today at Patriot Roofing Services. His number is 982-4052. All right, when we come back, let's get into some Jaguar talk here in a little bit. Let's get into some Masters talk. This is one of the great weeks of the year. Last night's game got it started, but this is what it's all about. 88 golfers, 44 from the United States. You have 44 international golfers. You have 18 from the LIV. You've got some names of some players who have had so much success here who this is going to be it for them. Bernard Langer among them at the age of 65. Freddie Couples, I want to say, is 63. But there's others as well that, this is about it. Several first-timers are a part of the 88 that are really going to, be able to give it a shot. And this is what's interesting is that, you can take the elder golfers and you can take these amateurs and you can basically scratch 15 to 20, in my opinion, right off the top. So you basically go from 88 to 68. And then you look at the 1 through 68 and, you can begin to cut here and cut there and cut here and cut there. But I'm going to say it again. We had here at the Players, first 2 rounds, the top 3 highest-ranked golfers, right? They were grouped together. You had Rahm, you had Scheffler, and you had Rory. That's not the case here. They're all part of their own threesomes. They're not grouping them together in that particular fashion, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens throughout the remainder of the week. It's a phenomenal week for golf fans and for sports fans in general. So let's come back and talk about that. Also, if you can think of one, give me the worst individual or team act after winning a championship that you can think of. After my buddy Jay Mariotti wrote about it a little bit earlier today. We'll get to that as well. All right, JJ LaSalva is here. My name is Rick Ballou. It's good to have you with us. This is your home of the Jags.
You press the button. Behind those doors, there's a life you always dreamt of.
This is 1010 XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Mia O'Brien here, and let me tell you, Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic is a whole lot more than just a catchy jingle. A couple weeks ago, I started smelling something funky in my backyard and washing machine. So I gave Jeff and the gang at Duck Duck a call. Not only did they send a highly skilled technician to my house right away, he cleaned out my septic tank within a few hours. Folks, it's more than just a jingle. When you get stuck, just call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Hey guys, I'm Daniel Heilman from the brand new Fourscore Golf Tavern. We do elevated food, drinks, and golf simulator fun. If you're looking for a delicious meal or maybe a spot for a client, we have lunch specials every day. Need to entertain a few people from out of town? Easy. Just reserve one of our 4 simulator bays. Lunch service starts at 11 a.m. daily. Located in San Marcos Square, we'll see you at lunch at Fourscore Golf Tavern.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 4th, 1974, Hank Aaron ties Babe Ruth's home run record by hitting his 714th in Cincinnati facing Jack Billingham.
There's a world of difference between and that's why you can trust Famous Automotive and Tire when it comes to your vehicle's care. Because there's a difference between and. It all starts with the triangle of safety. Your tires, brakes, and the front end. Take care of those 3 points and your car will take good care of you. Start at Famous Automotive and Tires. 7 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan Jewelers is your local family jeweler for 44 years with a huge selection of GIA-certified diamonds, gold, fine gemstone and diamond jewelry, and designer brands from all over the world. With our interest-free financing, we make it easy to acquire the perfect gift. Monahan Jewelers also specializes in custom jewelry design with thousands of customers all across Jacksonville. Come experience our beautiful selection of fine jewelry at your local family jeweler, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Instant Keys specializes in replacement of lost, stolen, or broken keys and remotes. Serving the First Coast for over 20 years, Instant Keys provides expert service for nearly every foreign and domestic vehicle, including most luxury models. So don't be intimidated by today's high-tech automotive keys. At Instant Keys, you get dealership-level service at a fraction of the time and cost without the dealership hassle. For honest, professional locksmith service, call Instant Keys today, 722-1111.
What if you could be credit card debt-free in 10 days and save as much as $1,000 a month? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Hey, it's Prosser here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low monthly payment. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $400 a month. Use that money and pay off high-interest credit cards or do a home improvement project. You can access up to 90% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. So even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Stop the madness. Say no to 24% interest fees. Call Loan Pronto today. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or as always, you can visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
This is Hayes Carlion for Kingfish Pest Control, a local family-owned business that specializes in pest, termites, mosquito, and rodent prevention. I tell you what, when I got my new home, I had to put on my reporter's hat, find out who really is the best, and it turns out there's no competition. Kingfish provides exceptional service and treats me like a valued customer, not just an account. That's why I wholeheartedly recommend Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey folks, you ever search why Shark Coatings is the best? Well, one of the many reasons is our polyurea. We don't just buy it from anyone who has it in stock. We custom blend ours, specializing between summer and winter blend, providing you with the best product for our area. After grinding the concrete, that polyurea will form a permanent bond at the molecular level and will not pull away like epoxy. With Shark Coatings, not only will your garage look awesome, but your pool deck, patio, or driveway will too. See how Shark Coatings can make a difference for you. Call, click, or text today.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I've got breaking news at 8:47 here on Into the Night. I've heard from a buddy of mine who is one of Jacksonville's finest, and he says, yeah, absolutely. They can lie, okay? You don't have to say that you are a cop. When I worked undercover, I would always use that to my advantage and roll up on people and ask them if they were a cop. Knowing they weren't, then they definitely would think I was one.
So why did he say we were wrong when that's exactly what we said? He's not listening. Of course you're not.
There's part two.
Of course you can do that.
There's part two to his text. You ready for this one? Because he texts me. He said, I just saw you try to call. If you'd like to call me back, you can. I was at home taking a shower. So obviously he was driving home and he heard. But I don't know. I mean, listen. Entrapment, can you say it? Can you not say it? I don't know. I
just
have no
wonder
idea
why it's on television. Like, it's so obvious that that's not a thing, that you could just say that and they call off the investigation and have to tell you the truth.
Right.
But, like, somewhere along the line in TV and movies, that became a thing. And it's sort of, like, stuck.
Well, it is. And every TV show also, they have the same suspect or whomever it is who always plays the role of, hey, listen, are you going to arrest me or not? If not, I'm leaving. I mean, who would really say that to a police officer?
Everyone's like, so, I'll do whatever. I'm sorry, sir. You know, like, hey, I got somewhere to be. Are you going to take me or not?
You have no proof. You're going to, if there's two things we've
Prove
learned.
it.
Number one, don't kill your wife or ex-wife. Okay? You are the first person
Always.
they are going to come to look for. Okay? I mean, you can watch any television show and figure that part of it out. I'm not getting involved in your individual life, but my advice to you would be just carry on, because they're going to come and they are going to find you. And, it's very difficult to get away with it. You got the major story that's going on here now with the ex-relationship, like, out at the beach where I guess there was a hitman involved and all that type of stuff. Of course, we had the big one out in Carolina that went to Netflix, the Murdaws. And
by the way,
and all
the hitman, if I think I know which story you're talking about, was like a guy that was renting out his house. And it's like, of course that's going to come back to you, dude. And that's exactly what happened. You're talking about the guy on the side of the road went and picked, like he was driving and he stopped to get out.
Got like a boulder out of the road or something,
so
a big
apparently
rock.
the guy set something up in the middle of the road so he'd have to get out and shot him.
You're going to get caught, people.
Yeah, and that guy was renting out a house from the new husband of the woman that's involved with all of this. And she's since moved out to, like, Seattle.
Yeah, she long gone. And I got news for you. They'll find her.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't care how far away you go.
They got police
Johnny
officers.
Law is coming.
Yeah, it's I don't know. We have fun with the Phillips Highway stroll. I just, that's serious stuff. I just have always believed that, there's more important things to do than bust the John who's waving a $20 or $50 bill.
Or this poor lady.
Yeah, there's far more important things, but I'm sure they are also taking. Hey, listen, I saw the big deal today with. Did you see TK today? TK, the big bust that he had today. Some great cop work today. They found all sorts of drugs. The new sheriff, our buddy, used to come in here with T-League and I all the time. Very, very TK Waters, the sheriff, now in Jacksonville. I kind of skimmed through it. Believe it or not, I spend most of my time trying to do sports-related issues, but it was a mammoth bust today. I think it was 6 people, guns, drugs, $80K, which I guess isn't a lot of money if you look at drug busts. But yeah, I've always kind of looked at it that way when it comes to the Johns. Now, I do understand that the women involved could be, could be working for pimps or could be sexually, in the sex trade business, underage, which is a totally different animal, totally different set of circumstances.
Of course.
As far as I'm just shocked that it's still out there. I was under the impression that everything now is online.
Yeah.
I mean, who really goes down the street looking for that anymore?
Well, if you look at the mugshots, you'll a lot of day laborers.
Look at the mugshots. I gave you a list. I was hoping you'd get a few of them on the air. They put us on late on Tuesday. That's the type of things we're going to do.
Yeah.
Let's get these guys on it, and, let's find,
We need each side of the story. A man is innocent until proven guilty.
Get a date with a John. This guy can't, this poor guy. All right. I looked this up. Final Masters. Where'd it go here? Having just a tiny, I'm not one to complain. Having just a tiny little issue with the intranet. It's intra, net. Larry Mize, this will be his final. He won in 1987. Jose Maria Olazabal, I believe, has one more. He's won it twice. Sandy Lyle is getting ready to call it a career. Mike Weir, man. Mike Weir's only in his 50s. He's the one guy that got lost during tiger-proofing golf courses. He just can't hit the ball. And, former green jacket winners are going to play until the age of 65, and, they don't have an opportunity out there. Vijay Singh getting longer in the tooth. These are all former winners who have no chance of winning coming up over the next 4 days. Freddie Couples is one of those guys who he will have a good Thursday round or maybe a Friday round, but when you get to 72 holes, it's just not going to work for him. This is the final Masters for Bernard Langer, who is just a check-cashing machine, okay? It doesn't matter if it's on our soil or if it's on international soil. It doesn't matter if it's on the PGA Tour in his day or now the, Champions Tour. All this guy does is win. And if he doesn't win, he's a top 10 guy. And, he's bringing in paycheck after paycheck. A bunch of amateurs that I am honestly not familiar with. I saw this list of 1 through 88. They had Phil Mickelson ranked at number 73. I just saw Phil. As a matter of fact, he's on the Golf Channel right here in front of me. This is obviously a retape from earlier today. How there's certain people that should remain overweight, right? Phil doesn't look good thin.
He looks weird. But
Okay.
is it because we've seen him heavier? Like, if we would not have known Fat Phil and we just saw Phil, you'd be like, well, okay, normal-looking guy with huge calves.
I really liked Phil. Do you remember when Phil was Phil Nippleson?
Oh, yeah, dude. People love Phil's man boobs and
Obviously,
so
he had
much talk.
Obviously, he had something done because that's long gone.
He worked his ass off. Like, he worked out hard. The guy
Right.
lost so much weight.
He went to a doctor and he said,
Oh, you're a hater.
He said, listen, take Golden State +3 tonight and fix my chest. That's exactly what Phil Mickelson did. All right?
Take my boobs and put them in my calves.
He's 73rd. He's ranked. Someone had to do this. Talk about exhaustive work. 1 through 88. No way would I want to do that. So, those are guys that I just mentioned right there. That's basically 18 guys, Zach Johnson, Francesco Molinari, who really have no chance of winning, this year's Masters, in my opinion.
Phil is, like, on the struggle bus. Big time, even at Live. Like, that guy, he finishes bottom 5 in Live constantly. Winning that 2021 U.S. Open, was it the U.S. or PGA? Looks even crazier now than it did then. Like,
Certainly wasn't a U.S. Open. That's what he's missing for his
okay, then it was PGA.
for his Grand Slam.
He fell off hard after that.
We're going to make our picks tomorrow night. I'm going to use one more night to sleep on it and give it a little bit more tomorrow. I mean, who knows? It's a roll of the dice when it comes to making these selections. But, yeah, I really feel like there's 18 to 20 guys that could honestly win this. I don't believe that it's a 3 or 4 tournament event. And I mean, look at last year. Scheffler won it in his first time out. Imagine that. His first time on the track. And I remember complaining about this during the first round this year here at the Players. You remember on Thursday afternoon, 5 of the top 9 during Thursday's first 18 holes were first-time players at the stadium course. To me, that's maybe it's fluky, and obviously it caught up to him once the weekend came around. But that's what makes this event so different, and as far as a major is concerned, because the PGA, the U.S. Open, and the Open across the pond, they change golf courses. The Masters is the one event, the one major, where you're going to the same golf course each and every April. And even though they've made changes, tee to green, and someday, some years they'll redo this hole and they'll redo that hole, I think experience really comes into play. I don't like first-time winners in this event.
No, but Scotty is on another level now where, like, he's just obviously the number one golfer in the world. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes back-to-back. Do you have Tiger as one of those, like, 20 guys that you could just mark off, not going to make it, not going to win?
I can't. I'd love to do it. He hasn't played enough. He just, he said it again today. As a matter of fact, he said today this may be it. This may absolutely be it for him at Augusta. He's 47, but he can't walk. He believes he can make the shots. He cannot hold up as far as walking around the golf course. And if you've never been to the Masters, and unfortunately I'm guessing that most of you out there never have, TV doesn't do it any justice whatsoever. It is incredibly hilly. Okay. Obviously more hilly here than, there really aren't any hills in Florida. Even though this is northern Florida, you wouldn't. Stream Song's got some, man-made stuff.
I've never seen a hill in my life.
Right. Well, let me tell you something. 5 hours north of us at Augusta, incredibly hilly. And, it's got to be that much more difficult for him to bounce back after the total reconstruction that he had to that leg back in 2021. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. We're going to get some thoughts in on poor sportsmanship during the championship game. Getting a couple of good ones in here on the text line, 641-1010. That is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. We'll grab a couple of calls on it as well. We'll get with you tonight till 10 o'clock. Rest of the week, 6 to 8, including Thursday and Friday, non-stop, constant updates from the Masters.
All aboard! The momentum train is moving in the right direction.
Everyone believed in everyone.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is the sports medicine leader in Northeast Florida. We're proud to be the official sports medicine provider for your hometown teams, including the Jaguars, Sharks, Axemen, Armada, and the Jumbo Shrimp. We have the most cutting-edge resources for sports medicine care, including active armor casting, Alter-G anti-gravity treadmills, and highly trained physicians and athletic trainers. JOI is truly where the pros go, and so should you.
Hey folks, you ever search why Shark Coatings is the best? Well, one of the many reasons is our polyurea. We don't just buy it from anyone who has it in stock. We custom blend ours, specializing between summer and winter blend, providing you with the best product for our area. After grinding the concrete, that polyurea will form a permanent bond at the molecular level and will not pull away like epoxy. With Shark Coatings, not only will your garage look awesome, but your pool deck, patio, or driveway will too. See how Shark Coatings can make a difference for you. Call, click, or text today.
Children under 5 die from drowning in Florida more than any other state. Together, we can reduce the risk of drowning. The YMCA has programs accessible to families that teach essential water safety skills. Face the water with confidence. Learn more at watersafetyflorida.org.
The flagship station of the Jaguars, WJXL-FM, Jacksonville Beach.
Allentown Mortgage gives you both a fast online application process and an expert mortgage advisor to get you the best mortgage at the most competitive rate in the nation. You can be a number at a big box bank and spend weeks filling out paperwork, or call Allentown Mortgage. Eric summed it up in his 5-star Google review. Allentown knows the mortgage industry. When the big boxes say no, they say yes. The whole process went very smoothly. Get the mortgage experience you want. Go to allentownmortgage.com. That's allentownmortgage.com. NMLS number 103917, 4810 Executive Park, Jacksonville.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
The Green Beret Charity Golf Tournament at the Golf Club of Southampton is May 12th. To learn more, search the Green Beret Golf Tournament at Southampton.
Builders Care is looking for volunteers, and there are so many ways you can help. Find out how at builderscare.org.
The annual Wolfson Children's Hospital Bass Tournament is May 18th through the 20th. Register at wolfsonsbasstournament.com.
City Rescue Mission provides life-changing support for the homeless. Find ways to get involved at crmjax.org.
The Creeks Athletic Association in St. Johns County offers a variety of sports for children 5 to 18. Learn how to get your child involved at caaleague.org.
The Tom Coughlin J Fund helps families battling childhood cancer, and there are ways you can help. Go to tcjfund.org.
If you're involved in a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, find out how at 1010xl.com.
The Guggen Open is coming. Listen to the drill with Jeff and Dan for a chance for you and a partner to play in this year's Coastal Equipment Guggen Golf Open, April 17th at Hidden Hills Golf Club. This year's Guggen cocktail is the Duval Donkey, made with brackish vodka. Chip for your chance to win $500 towards new tires from Tire Outlet. Enjoy cigars from Tobacco Cove. Thanks to our sponsors, Edwin Watts Golf, CSS Outdoor, and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union 234.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-7473. That's 1-800-747-3733. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, tomorrow night, John Osher, he had to sit down with Shad Khan. We're going to talk about that at 7 o'clock. Also, the Boston Capper. He is a golf betting legend. He'll be on. And then JJ and Ballou. We make our picks. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's coming up tomorrow night. The 7281 says, Donnie Brasco never told Sonny Black and Lefty he was a cop when asked. That's how he infiltrated the Bonanno family. You, sir, are correct. I was reading today, they're coming out with Heat 2.
Tell me that's not true.
I mean, Pacino kills De Niro at LAX at the end of Heat.
Yeah.
Hollywood's awful. I mean, listen, there are great series that are out on Netflix and Hulu, and I just started watching that one that they basically say is based on Fleetwood Mac with Elvis Presley's granddaughter.
Lisa Marie?
Yes. No. Her daughter.
Oh, that's his daughter.
Oh, she's so good. I can't think of her name right now. She's done a lot of Keough. Keough is her last name is Keough, and she's very good in a lot of different things. Riley Keough. Okay. I just started watching that. Hollywood does a great job with series, but I want to tell you something. They have really screwed the pooch when it comes to movies. Heat 2?
Yeah.
You can't make a Heat 2. Okay, what? Val Kilmer died in Heat 1. Tom Sizemore died in Heat 1. De Niro dies in Heat 1. I don't know. Hollywood's just kind of screwed that up.
It's going to have Adam Driver in it, who plays, if you've seen the new Star Wars, he's like the new evil guy.
I know who Adam Driver is, and that's not enough to get me to the theater.
No, I agree.
67-71, T.O. stomping on the star at Cowboy Stadium after the 49ers beat him. No doubt, but I'm talking about championships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Jay Mariotti's point in his column is what Angel Reese did was the worst display of sportsmanship when you have just won a championship.
Not like in a regular season game or whatever.
Right.
Because we have plenty of those. Quickly, I have an update on Heat 2. It's a prequel. So, yes, all of those people did die. Adam Driver will be playing a young Robert De Niro. So this makes me more interested in the Heat 2 concept. So we might see, like, remember he went to prison and, you know, you don't really know much of where Robert De Niro came from in that movie. All right. But still, like you said, Hollywood has zero original ideas.
Hey, if it's a prison movie, I'm in. I love when they start passing passing guys around for a pack of smokes. Speaking of prison movies, the 4634 just said, I can't wait for Shawshank Redemption 2.
Well, he actually lives at the end, so they could.
Best prison movie of all time?
It has to be Shawshank.
Let me tell you something right now. Longest Yard's pretty good.
Okay.
Oz
is a show, though.
Is my all-time favorite is my third all-time favorite series. Right now I'm in the American Horror series, which I love so much because I multitask during it, but I look up and, like, Kathy Bates has been murdered 72 times in 6 different series, and she keeps reappearing. It's just the most magnificent thing of all time. No matter how many times you kill these stars, they're like Jason Voorhees. They just keep coming back.
What about Escape from Alcatraz?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Classic. Absolutely.
Green Mile. I'm having to Google
okay.
these now.
That was
Green
okay.
Mile, I feel like super overrated. I'll give you one that I love. In the Name of the Father. It's what's his name?
I don't know if I saw it.
Who's the guy that's always like Daniel Day-Lewis?
Okay.
Method actor.
How about Bad Boys? The original, like Sean Penn's, like.
I don't know that. I only know the Bad Boys with Will Smith.
No, this is like Sean Penn right around Fast Times at Ridgemont High, when he was a very young actor.
American
It's
History
almost like in a
X.
juvenile. It's like a juvenile
juvie
detention.
facility?
Yeah,
I
but it's
haven't
rough.
seen that one.
They pass people around for smokes there too.
I'm
As a matter of
sure.
fact, you know who Sean Penn's cellmate is? Christopher from The Sopranos.
What is his name?
Yeah. All right, let's grab some-
Christopher Moltisanti.
Yeah. The guy buys a newspaper and takes like 40 of them because his name finally made the papers as like a connected guy.
Oh, my, that was hilarious.
I think I'm going to do that next after. I'm going to go back and relive.
Sopranos.
Yeah. My favorite series of all time is Sopranos. Then it's The Wire. And I love Dawes.
Did you watch Breaking Bad?
I did. Probably my top 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
The Wire to me is phenomenal, but there's like 2 seasons where I'm like, I could have done with that. The dock season where like they bring in the Polish guys that work on the docks.
I actually loved that season.
Did you?
I did.
Wow.
I did.
I feel
First off,
the
I love
complete
the guy
opposite.
who ran the docks. That short, fat, bald guy.
Yeah, got the hair around the sides.
I think Yellowstone's gone down this year.
Haven't seen it, but to me that seems like one of those shows where it's just so popular that they've been ready to end it, but they just keep dragging it out.
What was the other one that we just went through that was so good? What
channel? What was the plot?
It was drugs and it was money. It was the comedian who took on the serious role with Laura Linney.
Are you talking about Better Call Saul?
No.
Drugs and money.
Talking about it's like in Arkansas and all of that. I can't think of the name of it.
It's like the name of the mountains, right?
Someone will hit us up here now. Oh, the Robert Redford, The Last Castle. Yeah, that's very good. That's got James Gandolfini on it. He's the warden. That's a very good movie. No doubt about that. What the hell was that called?
I don't know.
It's like it's like everyone loves it. They couldn't stop talking about it. And they had REO Speedwagon on playing at one particular time. I don't know, but so I thought that got Ozarks. The Ozarks. Some of these get a little It's like I've always had a problem with comedies because they don't know how to end it. It's the same thing with these series. They just kind of drag it on.
I think they know how to end it, but then, the higher ups at whatever station, they're just like, hey, this is successful. You're going to keep it going.
I end up quitting most of them. Like I quit Billions.
Most people do.
I quit Billions. I quit Succession.
Oh, no, you got to go back. Succession's ending this season, and it just started again.
Guy's too damn old to be that stressed out about money.
Yeah.
Here's my advice to you. Go play golf 3 days a week and then go to the beach the other 4. I mean, when you get to be that old, why are you that stressed out
like wanting
about
to kill
money?
your whole family over this. Yeah, I see your point, but to me, the dialogue in that show is amazing. I could just listen to them talk. But yeah, we're in the last season right now. Episode 2 just came out. Love that show.
Entourage. I gave that up at the end.
That show to me, it was corny. I never really understood that whole thing.
That turtle, that Yankee fan wearing the cap backwards. And there's another fat guy that got skinny. Stay fat, bro.
He was cool skinny guy.
You had it going when you were fat.
How about Jonah Hill?
We've got 77 people here who have told us that it's Ozarks. That's why I love our listeners.
Cool Hand Luke is a prison movie that I've actually never seen.
That's Robert Redford, right?
Yeah, I've heard it's phenomenal. American History X isn't a prison movie, but it has many graphic prison scenes. If we're counting that, that's my number one.
4677, Ballou, the writer who said this is the worst display of sportsmanship. Must have been writing from under a rock. BS to all who want to crucify her. Did Donald point to his finger? He did get after her. That's a strong word, crucify. His point was it was awful sportsmanship. I'm still waiting for another display of awful sportsmanship right as you won it all.
That's what the texter's missing that we said. In a championship moment.
Right. And we're getting some others we're getting examples of Miami. Remember when Miami in the Cotton Bowl against Texas and stuff like that? That wasn't a championship event. I can't even think of anything.
Miami wore fatigues before a title game and lost.
Sure did to Penn State. Testaverde threw 4 interceptions, if I remember correctly, and very low-scoring Orange Bowl.
And didn't they get up in the middle of the dinner?
They did. Well, first of all, that's
stupid to have.
That's beyond stupid.
To
have both teams having dinner together in the same
right before the game.
Right.
The day or two before the game.
Yeah, I can't even think of one. It's amazing.
We had a caller on the line. He fell off, but he said basically the same thing I did earlier. Just the Astros in general.
All right.
They didn't celebrate in any type of way, but the fact that they just knew they were cheating the entire time and still celebrated. And there's that famous ALCS walk-off home run where they're celebrating as Altuve's rounding third base, covering up, telling the guys, don't, rip off my shirt because I have a little whatever it was to help him figure out which pitch was going on.
You know what number 1 may actually be, and it's coming up this month? That is Rosie Ruiz, who won the Boston Marathon by cheating.
A cab?
She took the subway, bro.
Subway.
She went underneath. She went through the bowels of Boston. I mean, this is in the day of poor surveillance, and, they had stuff set up all over trying to bag Whitey Bulger and the Winter Hill Gang.
And instead they get this poor
and the
lady.
Angiulio brothers on the north end, and Rosie Ruiz runs about 200 yards and then ducks into a subway.
Apparently she claimed that first of all, she went forever without admitting it until finally one of her friends gave her up. But she claimed that she didn't realize she was winning. Yes, she cheated, but she thought she was just going to come out in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Nobody would notice, but
it was almost like a bar bet.
She
won it.
Yeah.
She won the damn thing.
She came out way too early.
Yeah.
Into the crowd.
All right. I guess this is losing a little bit of steam. I thought there would be...
Mariotti's correct.
Well, I think he is correct. And, you know, whether you support it or you do not support it, I'm thinking about poor sportsmanship right as you are winning it all. Man, I don't even know. You would think in football or something there would be the pointing in the face and some stuff. I mean, you know, we talked about it was Matt Millen. We talked about this, him hitting the general manager's brother back in New England after the Patriots beat the Raiders, and that was because he was getting in Howie Long's face. Howie Long played at Villanova, but he's another Boston kid, so there was a little bit of a connection there. But that was a playoff game. That wasn't for a championship. Interesting that we can't come up with something that's even remotely close to that. I would think basketball would be the one, a game-winning shot, right? Wouldn't that be the one that would produce the most? But we have...
like somebody pointing at the... Like, I'm shocked that we haven't had more ring pointing. You know,
Reggie Miller would have been the guy. Reggie Miller would have been the guy if they won it.
He only got to one finals, I believe. Yeah, against the Lakers. I think they won one game, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, someone is very upset. It's Paul Newman, not Robert Redford.
Oh, my God. Imagine my embarrassment. As a matter of fact, I feel awful for that. I apologize. I'm going to sit out for the next 5 minutes.
No, 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff. Mornings.
All right.
On 1010XL.
All right, he's had enough. Yeah, don't move it.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
It's time to play Fix That Plumbing Problem. What do you do if you have a clogged drain? Contestant 1?
Use a different drain?
No, that doesn't really fix the problem. Contestant 2? That's right. Just call the duck.
Don't let plumbing problems linger. Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. Commercial, residential, any plumbing issue or project.
When you're stuck, call the duck. 904-862-6769.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started. At stonecore.co, we do outdoors better.
There are many fish in the sea, but there's only one Captain Kevin catching them. The Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
I limit it out.
Thursday nights at 6.
Oh my gosh, giant, dude, giant.
On 1010XL AM.
Denny Thompson here. Tyson Sound and Security is hiring salespeople right now. If you want to sell new tech security cameras or home automation, Tyson Sound and Security is looking for you. Tyson Sound and Security is hiring for sales positions and they will train you to be successful. Apply online at TysonSoundandSecurity.com or call 762-1000. That's 762-1000. Hiring for sales positions right now. Apply online at TysonSoundandSecurity.com or call 762-1000. Equal opportunity employer.
Calling all Buffalo Bills, Annie Oakley's sharpshooters, and amateur marksmen. Join some fun folks for an afternoon of competitive clay shooting to benefit Operation New Uniform, providing transformative training and career services to empower veterans and military spouses to successfully transition from military service to a meaningful career. Friday, April 28th at Clay Target Sports on a state-of-the-art 15-station sporting clay course. Register at onvet.org.
Does your home or building need painting? For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. Do you have a VA loan? In this housing market, homeowners with VA loans have access to a ton of instant cash. Hey, it's Prosser here. Do you need cash to pay off credit cards and other high-interest loans? Does a check for 80 or 90 grand sound about right now? Well, Loan Pronto is helping veterans every day get the money they need with a quick and easy zero-cost cash-out refi with zero closing costs. With a VA loan, it's really cool because you can access up to 100% of your home's value. Use that money to pay off credit cards, home equity lines, car loans, consolidate all your payments into one check per month, and close in 2 weeks. Most homeowners who do this end up cutting their overall monthly payments by $800. Loan Pronto's all-digital process makes it fast and easy. They're doing loans with super low APRs, and they love working with veterans. Call now to see what your options are. Call Loan Pronto at 999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Hicken here. If you're looking for a winning team to clean your carpets and tile, Zero Res, #1 in the country for customer satisfaction, and they were named Franchise of the Year. No surprise to me, I've had Zero Res clean my home for years, and man, there's nothing better than coming home to a clean house by Zero Res. The smell, the look, it's awesome. Right now, get 2 rooms of carpet cleaning the staircase for $148. Savings of $30. Remember, folks, Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
With you tonight till 10, Hacker takes over then. Rest of the week, 6 to 8, 6 to 8, 6 to 8. We may have a winner here, ladies and gentlemen. The 21-29 has reached way back. The best win trash talk moment is Pete Weber. Who do you think you are? Do you think you are like me, I believe is what he said?
I am.
Unbelievable. That's a great one. It really is.
I don't know if that was a championship. Let's see. Yeah, it does say championship. I'm watching it right now.
He was a strike to claim it. And he got it!
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am.
Oh, man. I'll tell you something right now. He's the bad boy of bowling.
Yeah, he is.
Love that, man. Haven't seen that in a little bit. He used to love the whole wide world of sports and that type of stuff.
This was like way after that. This was
80s?
No, this was definitely 2000s. This
Really?
was on ESPN. Oh yeah. And that was Gary Thorne on the call.
You trying to tell me Gary Thorne expanded his broadcast duties into bowling as well?
Listen.
Like Chris Schenkel, I remember.
Strike to claim it. A strike to claim it. And he got it!
Oh, I love Gary Thorne, man.
A few years ago when I was on the afternoons with Frank, we would do the spring training tour every year, and we were in Baltimore. Yeah, I knew Dan Duquette well. He lived in my hometown. I was long gone when he was the general manager. the Red Sox, but he was in my hometown. I became good friends with my dad. Then I built a relationship with him and have him on the radio in Baltimore. I can't remember where it was. I guess it was in Lakeland. I want to say that's where Baltimore was or still is. But anyway, Thorne does all Oriole games. So we went to interview Dan Duquette, and then I went to interview Gary Thorne, and it was probably a 15-minute interview with Gary Thorne, but 13 of those minutes were on him calling hockey, and only 2 minutes on the Baltimore's.
That brings me back. Like the early 2000s ESPN hockey.
Do you
Gary
remember
Thorne?
when he had us all on the edge of our seat? He knew that Bob Probert was going to fight Marty McSorley, and he had, I can only imagine hockey fans, but even casual fans, had to have been like, and this was such a mistake, how hockey left ESPN, because, people get home, they have families, they have things to do, and they're going to flip on ESPN. They're not going to go look for it on TNT and TBS and things like that. But that's, and I'm not a big, listen, I love hockey fights, but it's part of the game. I don't watch hockey for fights. But on this particular night, man, he set it up, and it was absolutely spectacular. Most will talk about Bob Probert and the Ty Domi fights, but that one there against Marty McSorley was one of the great calls by Gary Thorne. And, his brother is now calling games on ABC Sports, Sean McDonough. Remember a couple weeks ago we mentioned his brother, Terry McDonough?
Yes.
Who worked here?
Yes, who I didn't even know he existed.
See all the stuff that came out with him today? No. Calling out the Bidwells, a lengthy scenario where he's accused, the Bidwells of misconduct to former employees and all sorts of crazy recklessness, including cheating. I mean, just it's a very lengthy piece, but McDonough has totally attacked the character of Bidwell here. And, of course, the Cardinals turned around and immediately denied this and said it wasn't the case. We'll see what happens. But, Sean McDonough is incredibly vocal. He's a broadcaster. His dad is one of the – Will McDonough was probably the first information man in the history of the NFL with the Boston Globe. Okay? Will McDonough also was a Southie kid who grew up with the Bulgers. As a matter of fact, he was the campaign manager for Whitey Bulger's brother, who was Billy Bulger, who was a huge state representative. He went on to become the president of the University of Massachusetts, and, that's what made that whole story so odd, is that you had one Bulger brother that was a murderer. He was the head of the Irish gang. He controlled everything underground, Irish-wise, in Boston. And his brother was like one of the most successful politicians within the city. But Will McDonough, incredible reporter, columnist, first information man in the NFL. His son, Sean McDonough, I think to this day remains one of the most underrated broadcasters in the business. He is phenomenal in baseball, football. I think he's very good in golf. And if you've watched hockey on the national level, Sean McDonough is outstanding. His brother was like, I didn't know him well when he was here. He seemed very quiet, almost unassuming. Okay? I'm really surprised that his name is on top of this. And again, I can't throw something out there not knowing anything at all about this story. But on a little bit that I know about Terry McDonough, I find it hard to believe that he would throw this type of stuff out there unless there was some truth around it.
It's also weird for an NFL team to come back with a statement with stuff. Usually, when a big corporation, someone's trying to take a huge dump on them, as they're going out the door, they'll just have a brief statement. But apparently they came out with a laundry list of things that he's done that they're not happy about too, which is odd for a huge organization to do something like that.
It's going to be a messy story.
Yeah. My Gary Thorne, what I think of when I think of Gary Thorne and that music is like Scott Stevens just totally destroying Eric Lindros over the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
Giving him just another concussion.
That was one. Claude Lemieux to Chris Draper was unbelievable during that heated rivalry between Colorado and Detroit. You can go back to Montreal, Philadelphia. Claude Lemieux was such a rat. Claude Lemieux on opposing ice, and he would do it on home ice, he would always be the last guy in. And he would skate around the ice and put the puck in the opponent's net. As the Zamboni was on the verge of pulling out to clean the ice. And this happened in a playoff series against Montreal, and a couple of players wouldn't allow it, and I think it was Hospodar.
Like talking warm-ups.
Right.
In warm-ups?
Oh,
Okay.
It was Hospodar. I think it was at Hospodar. And it might have been Hextall, the goalie. I don't remember. But Hospodar started beating the living tar out of Claude Lemieux.
Before the game.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even take off his gloves. And in this bench-clearing brawl pregame goes on for like 7 or 8 minutes. The highlight is Dave Brown, who's a very good fighter in Philadelphia. He comes out. He doesn't even have his shoulder pads, elbow pads, or obviously they call it a sweater. I'll call it a jersey. He's bare-chested with straps. And Chris Nyland, another Southie, kid from Southie, who I keep finding my way back to Whitey Bulger here. Somehow there was some sort of relationship.
Jeez, everyone.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, Southie's tiny. It's a tiny little place. But they start going. That was the highlighted fight. I think Chelios took on John Kordic. Chris Chelios did stuff. But if you pull it up on YouTube, it's about a 7-minute watch, and it's one of the most incredible things you're ever going to see. That took place as well. Here's one that I don't remember. 71-15. What about Richard Seymour asking Tom Brady if he was mad after the Super Bowl? Do you know that one?
No.
Because Seymour just got into the Hall of Fame, and Richard Seymour won a Super Bowl, may have won 2 with the New England Patriots. I thought he went off to the Raiders. What did Richard? Let me find this. See where Richard Seymour. Of course, he wasn't Richard Seymour the guy that had the Gator hat, the Gator jersey on, Sports Illustrated, and kind of like ripped it off, and it was a Georgia jersey. He was a very highly regarded player coming out of high school in South Carolina. He was a top 10 pick by the New England Patriots, and he went from New England, I want to say, to only Oakland, but Oakland didn't win a Super Bowl, right? In the years,
no,
in this
not
decade,
in my lifetime.
in this since the turn of the millennium,
no,
hell no.
Everything I'm getting is good vibes between Richard Seymour and Tom Brady. I'm getting Richard Seymour punched Ben Roethlisberger, open-handed slapped him in the face. That was at halftime. Oh wow. No, I don't know what he's referring to.
No, neither do I. I asked him if he's no longer listening, I asked him to tell me what you're talking about. I'm not familiar with that. Now, listen, I know that Seymour was irate with Belichick, but I didn't know that there was...
Oh, maybe you meant Richard Sherman.
Oh, maybe Richard Sherman, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It was a regular season game in Seattle before the Seahawks became who they were. The Legion of Boom was still forming.
But Seattle never beat New England. They lost on the Malcolm Butler pick.
Yeah, he said it was a regular season game.
The guy who just retired, Hightower, made that unbelievable tackle on beast mode on 2nd and goal, a one-on-one tackle, and then for some reason they threw the football, and Butler picked it off. Who did Seattle beat? They crushed Denver?
Yes.
Was that it? Yeah, I think it was.
That was when
Peyton was bad.
No, that was actually when Peyton was good. When Peyton was bad, they beat
That's right.
They won the Super Bowl.
That's right. Brady won a 12-3 game in Tampa against the Rams, and that 1 year Manning was basically done. He won a low-scoring game.
Yeah, 43-8. Yeah. Seattle beat Denver that year.
Okay, so yeah, I think you're right. I got a couple of things here. I think you nailed it. The individual did not mean Richard Seymour. He meant Richard Sherman, so that makes more sense. And also, it was Marcus Stroud who had the commitment thing with the changing of the shirt, not.
Oh, that's evil, man.
Roland Seymour. I miss the old days of recruiting. I miss it.
Everybody does it with the hats.
I miss those old days. Those were great. I think it was Thaddeus Bullard who sent in the text to Bobby, and I was there with Ronnie Cottrell back on signing day, back when there was no such thing as social media. You waited on faxes. That was it. That was how you got your information. Man, that was so great back in those days. I mean, recruiting was huge on radio. And I was talking about the loss of Davian Hallinger at the start of the show, which is so disappointing to me. Ronnie Cottrell was the head of recruiting. He was outstanding as well. He would give me these guys' numbers. And you name it, and I'd have them on, a couple of weeks before. What do you like about this? What do you like about I mean, it was, kids didn't do a lot of radio back in those. It's not like it is today where these kids are treated like stars, when they're sophomores, juniors, and seniors. I know I've told you before that he told me straight up when he got there, the first radio interview that Randy Moss ever did was with me. And I can't find the damn tape, which kills me. I mean, I've got tapes of Wilt Chamberlain and tapes of Joe Montana and Wayne and all these, Ernie Harwell.
Sucks it's not digitized.
It really, one of these days, I'm not really big into that type of stuff. I've honestly always thought about doing this. Yesterday I mentioned Ben Wright. Mm-hmm. Trying to think of the old golf announcer who ripped Chris Berman. And I bet I have 400, 500 CDs that over the years, particularly my producers in Chicago, where I had incredible guests, that they would give me, for the most part, every taped interview. I've just never gone through it. I would love to create some sort of a library, because I think it would be cool. I mean, we're losing so many people.
Yes.
That it would be. I remember I did it for Wilt Chamberlain. I remember I did it for Red Auerbach. I've done it for a couple of others and those two we lost a while ago. But I was thinking, is that kind of corny to go back and play an interview I did with, a sports great that is passed? Or,
hell no. I would love that.
Yeah, I think I'd like it. I think you'd like it, but I don't know if the listeners would like it. So that's what I've often thought of, and I was like, I know I have Ben Wright, but just to go get a Ben Wright interview would be kind of boring, I think, even though it's Masters Week. But if I can find the one where Ben Wright is on with me ripping Chris Berman,
oh my God, I'd pay for that.
Maybe I'll go look for that for tomorrow night's show. I don't know. It's just yeah, but you're right. I wish I could find a way to get all that stuff digitalized. Yeah, Thaddeus Bullard. Yeah, Titus O'Neil. I think it was him. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I think it was Thaddeus Bullard who sent his University of Florida scholarship signing to Florida State in Ronnie. I'm not 100.
On accident, or just to rub it in their face?
No. I think it was his way of sticking it.
I love that.
I'm not sure if it was him or not. I honestly, I'm sorry, I don't remember. We're talking mid-'90s here. We're going back almost 30 years.
That's the original pick up the wrong hat, or the other team's hat.
Yeah. All right, final thoughts coming up. We're with you tonight till 10. Hacker Nation joins you then. Rest of the week, we're with you 6 to 8.
Need more Gators?
We've got you covered.
Search 1010XL Florida Gators
where you find podcasts.
Or visit 1010XL.com to hear Hicken and Franchi on Mondays and Denny Thompson and Hacker on Wednesdays.
New episodes each week.
Buying a car can be stressful, especially one sold as is or with no warranty. Do the 7, 10, or 30-day warranties leave you wondering what will happen on day 31?
Stop. Car buying doesn't need to be so stressful. Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet now offer the exclusive Beaver Certified program protecting your used car for 7 years or 100,000 miles. That's right, certified Hondas, Fords, Nissans, and any other make you consider now come with the peace of mind you deserve. Shop worry-free at Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville.
On the outside, everything looks fine, but on the inside, an unseen enemy is plotting the destruction of your home. Termites can be deadly to your home unless you fight back with Southern Fumigation. 259-9811. They will service your home from inspection to completion. No contracting out your job to other companies. 259-9811. Southern Fumigation offers a free pest inspection with no obligation. That's Southern Fumigation, 259-9811.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
I'm Dr. Mitchell Yass, the most unknown world-renowned expert on pain elimination. That's right, elimination. If you've tried medications, injections, physical therapy, chiropractic, even surgery, and still experience pain, then say yes to Yass. I have successfully used the Yass method for over 30 years to help thousands reclaim their lives. To learn more, call me at 904-906-YASS. Let's end your pain and say yes to Yass.
1010XL celebrates athletic and academic greatness.
Listen for the high school scholar athlete Wednesdays on the Frangie Show.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
Hey guys, I'm Daniel Heilman from the brand new Fourscore Golf Tavern. We do elevated food, drinks, and golf simulator fun. If you're looking for a delicious meal or maybe a spot for a client, we have lunch specials every day. Need to entertain a few people from out of town? Easy. Just reserve one of our 4 simulator bays. Lunch service starts at 11 a.m. daily. Located in San Marcos Square, we'll see you at lunch at Fourscore Golf Tavern.
Servicing every customer like they're famous. But what does that mean for you? It comes down to the famous philosophy. You'll find a consistency at all 20 locations in friendly service, honest pricing, and realistic time expectations. They know when you find someone you trust to maintain your vehicle, keep it running right, and lasting longer, you'll stick with them. And that's the famous philosophy at Famous Automotive in Quick Lube. Ask about a fleet account for your business.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan Jewelers is your local family jeweler for 44 years with a huge selection of GIA certified diamonds, gold, fine gemstone and diamond jewelry, and designer brands from all over the world. With our interest-free financing, we make it easy to acquire the perfect gift. Monahan Jewelers also specializes in custom jewelry design with thousands of customers all across Jacksonville. Come experience our beautiful selection of fine jewelry at your local family jeweler, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Instant Keys specializes in replacement of lost, stolen, or broken keys and remotes. Serving the First Coast for over 20 years, Instant Keys provides expert service for nearly every foreign and domestic vehicle, including most luxury models. So don't be intimidated by today's high-tech automotive keys. At Instant Keys, you get dealership-level service at a fraction of the time and cost without the dealership hassle. For honest, professional locksmith service, call Instant Keys today, 722-1111.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Strength and resistance training are some of the best forms of exercise you can do to strengthen your muscles and improve your body composition. It may also lead to important improvements in metabolic health, meaning your blood sugar levels are easier to manage, and it also increases how many calories you burn at rest. The Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans recommends resistance training twice per week in addition to cardio training. Let's get fit, Jacksonville.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Sends it in. Probert to McSorley. Oh, Probert took a swing at him. Probert and McSorley. They're bumping. They're talking.
Yeah. Check it out. No penalties were called originally right by Rob Schick. And I don't think there should be an instigator penalty in this one because they started fair and square.
And look at the guys stand up watching from the benches.
Oh, yeah, baby. I'll tell you what. They know these are the heavyweights. This is just a battle of stamina now. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Did McSorley get rocked? Holy mackerel. McSorley is cut over the left eye, and Probert is still throwing him. I think maybe the stamina question has been answered.
McCord and DePuzzo trying to want to get in there, but they can't step into these punches. This is one of the longest fights I've ever seen.
I've never seen one go this long with officials watching it, Gary. I've seen them in brawls in the old days when there were not enough officials to go around.
Lord almighty. Bob Probert, the all-time leader in penalty minutes per game. And Marty McSorley, the man who was brought here to fill this kind of role when necessary, have just had one of the longest fights the NHL has ever seen.
Yeah, that is like sex in a bottle, especially if you're impaired. I totally recommend it. If the woman is asleep, just put on Hockey Fights and circle that one. Bob Probert, Marty McSorley.
It never ended.
Heavyweights.
I skipped about a minute of that fight, by the way.
Both throwing and landing and throwing and landing and taking. Okay? Both could take a punch. I was talking about that. We hit an Irish pub on, a couple of days when I was back home, said goodbye to my mom, and we started talking about Bruins fights. You know, there's not a lot of different. We're basically pretty ordinary. So we started getting back to talking about old school, you know, Terry O'Reilly, Stan Johnson fights like that. And another one of my buddies does that as well. It's amazing how things have evolved over the years. When I was a young runner and a ripper, and I've had a long-time girlfriend now, but, you know, maybe I would explore crazy stuff into the night, you know, that is not suitable for work. Now late at night, especially if I have a buzz, I go to old school Hockey Fights, man.
God bless you, too.
And it is so much fun because you know, obviously you can pull it up on the big screen, and or in my and you just don't get it like that anyway. Hockey has changed. You're very rarely. There was a good one the other day between Tampa and Boston, that Saturday game. And everything's kind of run together for me since all this happened. I don't remember when, in fact, that was. It may have been 2 Saturdays ago. But anyway, if you are a hockey fan or you're just bored, you know, we say it all the time. If you're one of those who falls into the category of I can't wait that it's the 4th day of April and you already want it to be August and training camp's going on, and you're honestly looking for something to do, go check out Old School Hockey Fights. Let me give you a couple of names that you should know. Dave Schultz. Look him up in the Broad Street Bullies. look up Stan Jonathan and Terry O'Reilly with the Boston Bruins. Go to Chris Nyland with the Montreal Canadiens. Bob Probert, obviously, with both the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks. One of my favorite fighters of all time was Mel Bridgman. Another guy mostly in Philly. Who else? Ben Wilson was a guy I loved in Philly. Clark Gillies. Oh, man, we lost him a year. We lost him this past year. I think it was 2022 with the New York Islanders. Wow. What a fierce fighter he was. Buffalo, Rob Ray had some really, Rob Ray was a good fighter in Buffalo. Jim Schoenfeld, the Larry Playfair fight with Terry O'Reilly is legendary. You want to see the bloodiest fight of all time? Put down Stan Jonathan against Pierre Bouchard, Boston and Montreal. So,
hey, the Bruins fight the other day was actually against what's their name in Columbus? The Blue Jackets.
Yeah, there was a fight there, but there was one with Maroon.
Trent Fredericks knocked a guy out basically in one punch.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. There was one, though, with Maroon, because he was the one that Jack Edwards, the former ESPN Sports Center guy.
Okay, yes. Pat Maroon and Garnett Hathaway.
Right. Edwards, a few months ago, referred to him as like a pizza-eating guy because he was heavy. You remember that comment that Jack Edwards made? Oh, yeah. It really caused a... And he went back and apologized the next time that Boston played Tampa, but it was...
this is a good one I'm watching right now.
Oh, yeah, it's a good fight. You don't see a lot of them anymore. Unfortunately, I think it's part of the game. I think a first-period fight's good. And, I think when you get into playoff hockey, if a team has a 4-1 lead or something like that, that used to be a part of the strategy. And for the most part, you almost never see it anymore. All right, that's it for us. I don't check that text line now that the show is over. If you want to get a hold of me, do so on Twitter, please. That is Ballou1010XL. Hacker is up next. Tomorrow night, the Boston Capper, his master bets. John Osher with a sit-down with Shad Khan, and JJ and I will make our Masters picks as well. We'll talk with you tomorrow, 6 to 8, right here in your home of the Jazz.
Duval and defense.
The ball is out. The ball is out.
Things in Jacksonville.
Another sack for this Jacksonville defense.
Things on 1010XL.
Spring is a key time for selling homes in the Jacksonville area. Now's the time to hire the agents with a proven marketing plan to maximize the price of your home and fast. Now is the time to hire the team. We're recommending Chad and Sandy Newman. What do you get with Chad and Sandy.com? How about the Chad and Sandy guarantee? A guarantee your home is sold at an agreed upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. So any problems you think may be out there, they're not there because Chad and Sandy can handle it for you. The real estate experts you can trust. Maybe you want to maximize your equity now while you can, but you're not sure where to move to next. Not a problem with Chad and Sandy, who, again, I don't know how much more of a guarantee you need. Your home will be sold at an agreed upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com, or call today at 904-414-6200. chadandsandy.com.
It's Guggen Golf time.
Mind if I play through?
Listen mornings to The Drill with Jeff and Dan for a chance for you and a partner to play in this year's Coastal Equipment Guggen Golf Open, April 17th at Hidden Hills Golf Club. Enjoy a Chick-fil-A breakfast and a Dandy Foods lunch. Score a hole-in-one to win a Kubota zero-turn mower from